What up, world? Welcome to the all-new F2 podcast, the Father Figure Podcast. I'm your boy, Reggie George. I'm the founder, CEO of the Father Figure Movement. Man, I'm here with my guy, my co-host, my friend, my homie, Deonte Miller, an integral part of the Father Figure Movement. What up, D?
What up, man? I appreciate the love, Reg, man. I'm here to support my guy, man. He got an awesome thing going here. Man, it ain't even just about us, though. It's for all these fathers out here, man, where we trying to empower you fellas, man, and come up with solutions together for our communities, for our kids, man. We just trying to do it big, bro. You know what I'm talking about, Red?
Man, so again, this is the all-new format, man. We want to create some great dialogue, man. We want it to be comfortable. We want everybody to check in. We want everybody to subscribe, comment, whatever you want, man. We just want you to be a part of this thing, man. And we're gonna go ahead and get it cracking. Our motto for the movement, and everybody is kind of the co-creator of this thing.
Right.
And we kind of want to just touch on it tonight, man, about being present and not perfect.
Yeah.
As fathers, I think one of the biggest things throughout this journey, man, is being present. And in the midst of being present, you got to understand not to try and be perfect. So D is one of the cats that you know, even though he younger than I am, man, but I admire him as a man, as a husband, and especially in this environment, man, I admire what he does as a father. So D, tell us, what is your interpretation of being present, not perfect?
Man, that's a mouthful, though, Reg. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, us growing up, and I'll just say it like this, us growing up as black men and in our community and our environment, man, the stigma or the stereotype is there ain't a lot of us that's present or come up in homes where the father is present, man. So, and I think a lot of times we get that we put too much weight on the perfection part of it, because at the end of the day, I mean, we all got things, the challenges that we got to overcome, man. So for me now, as a grown man and being a father of two beautiful children, I understand that my kids ain't going to necessarily follow my advice, but they're going to follow my example. That don't mean I got to be perfect, but that mean I got to strive, brother, to, you know what I'm saying, set the right example for my son and my daughter. And being present, man, is just having a voice and some influence in their life. You know what I'm saying? Not just being there to provide, which is my job, but to be there, and your time at the end of the day is money. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it, man, as being a present father. You know, what about you though?
Do you know you can't really go wrong, man, when you present as a father, and that's and let me throw it back to you for a second, man, before we move on. Give everybody the breakdown of the structure of what your family looks like. And I'm saying, like, how long you been married, the age of your kids, all that.
Okay, so me and my wife, man, God willing, brother, we'll be married 11 years in 2 weeks. Right, so you know what I mean? That's huge for me,
big.
Man. And then my son Bryce, he 9. That's my baby boy, my firstborn, and then I got my baby girl Kendall. She'll be 3 next month. So you know, like I said, that's pretty much the foundation and dynamic of my family, man. So I got smaller children. So I'm kind of learning this thing as I go, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how my family makeup is right now.
And that's really the structure of the movement, is because D and I are really the examples, man, that I want all fathers to really look at, because we can always bounce stuff off each other, right. Especially with D having younger kids, or with him having a boy and a girl. My foundation or my structure is July I'll be married 20 years.
Trying to catch up.
You know what I'm saying? And I have a set of 14-year-old as of Saturday.
Okay.
14-year-old twin baby girls, man. And for me, the motto or the mantra of being present, not perfect, man, is all over my journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you really just coming into newly being the father of a daughter, and you know more than I know how different it is from Bryce to baby girl, because man, them girls, if Kendall, I see the way you come in here with Kendall, man. Kendall, y'all just start speaking to me because she won't let go of her daddy. You know what I'm saying?
That's real though.
But them baby girls, man, they give you a different kind of fathering experience, bro.
Yeah, that's real.
And this weekend for me, man, I was in Atlanta, man. I'm trying to get some game poured on me, man, and take a couple little courses. But I'm saying that to say that it was kind of an emotional and a kind of different kind of weekend, man, because I had to make the choice of allowing my girls, and especially this year, man, with Camden going through what she been through, man, and this is really a bounce back birthday for them.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
this is a different celebration of life.
Yeah.
This ain't about the presents. This ain't about the sleepovers or the dinner. This is about we truly celebrating life this year.
Yeah.
And for me to be away from them on their birthday, and even though they know it's for the greater good and a huge cause,
right?
And my whole family believe in the movement, man. But man, I was super emotional because I couldn't be present on that particular day. It's not that I'm not present, and my presence reserve bank is so high that they understand. You know what I'm saying? But it plays into what we talking about, man, where fathers should feel some kind of guilt or some kind of some should weigh on you when you can't be present. But it also played into me understanding, like, man, my kids know I ain't got to be perfect to be a great dad.
Let me ask you something though, Rez. With everything that your family done went through, and let's just say the last year, and not saying that you wasn't as present before it happened, but now that this has transpired, you guys done kind of worked through this. Do you find yourself feeling like you got to be there for every second, for everything that go on, just because of that, and just because of the perspective that it puts everything into?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, D, and that's an awesome question, man, because this is what I don't think a lot of fathers recognize is presence comes in different forms.
Okay.
I don't feel like, because I've never not been physically present, but I do feel like psychologically and spiritually, man, I do have to be, because the perspective has changed on life. Like I know now that death does not care that my girls are 14. Right. So as a parent, and I have to teach them, man, we got to cherish every one of these days. I can't just assume that my daughter's gonna be here. You know, we always want to look forward to graduation and proms and all that kind of stuff, but we can't skip the presence. Yeah. The present, assuming that our kids are gonna be here till they 21, 25. We get to walk them down the aisle and all that stuff, man. That's what got put in perspective for me, is that, man, I have to enjoy right now with my kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where the imperfection, man, the imperfection of fatherhood is really what makes it exciting.
Yeah. It's funny though that you talking about presence though, because I was just telling my wife the other night, bro. And a lot of this too come from just reflecting on what your girls went through, because I looked at my baby girl and even my son and was like, man, they got to grow up one day, and it ain't nothing I can do to stop that. And then that reality set in, like, man, I can't be with them every second of the day. You know what I'm saying? I can't be present even physically every second of the day. And some things I just got to hope and pray that God protect my kids, and like everything gonna be all right. They gonna make the right decisions. You know, they gonna choose right. And so that's why I think it's important, like you saying, with the presence, when you laying that foundation, being present in your kids' life like that, bro, that's huge in their development, man.
And a lot of times, D, and this is why I always want you to be connected to the movement, man, because you a true example of the 80-20 rule, the 90-10 rule. See, a lot of times we allow society, and sometimes even the women that we have children with, and our wives and girls or whatever, is they magnify the 20%, magnify the 10%. Therefore, we out here trying to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. is I'm on the plane, man, and I just happened to pick Kanye to Graduation. And he got a song on there called Champion.
Okay.
And the foundation of the song is talking about his upbringing and what he thought about his dad. You're a champion in my eyes. You were a champion in our eyes, because he talking about eating Vienna sausages and doing all that stuff. But the way our kids look at us,
Right.
you a champion to them.
Yeah. Like
Only
superhero.
the adults and only society know about that 20% or that 10%.
Yeah.
But if we allow them to magnify it, now I go back and have to look at my situation and say, look, okay, how do I turn my 80% into 100%? And that's unattainable. It's unattainable, man, because if you strive for, that's just like I'm a barber.
Right.
There is no such word as a perfect haircut. And that's the same thing. Like, man, I'm just striving for greatness. I just want to be a champion in my kids' eyes.
Yeah.
And that comes through imperfection.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, that's crazy. That 20% you just talked about while you was talking about it kind of hit me hard, because I'm like, man, when it's magnified for a man,
Come on.
bro, I mean, that make us isolate. Then we start and draw us back from our kids, as opposed to just saying, you know what, this is what I'm in, because we actually teaching our kids the wrong thing when we do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things my father always taught me growing up, brother, he was like, listen, be your own person and be comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Be a leader, stand out, be a part. He like, I don't care how good you are on this day, it's another day coming.
And D, I'm gonna tell you, man, what you just said hits the movement, hits that nail on the head, because where did that message come from?
My father.
It came from your father. And that's what a lot of even us as fathers, man. I was talking to Cass this weekend, and truthfully, where does most black men's where does their motivation come from being a good father? It comes from not having a father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really crazy to me, man, to even have to think about that. Like, most of this generation's good fathers are good fathers because they didn't have a father.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we are really here, man, to create a space where even fathers can come and say, man, I heard what Deonte said, I heard what Red said, but I never got that message from my father.
Yeah.
That's about being present.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did you have a perfect father?
Nah, bro.
I ain't had no perfect father,
bro.
but their presence,
Was huge.
for me, would you trade your pops?
Nah.
I'm not gonna trade my pops.
Nah.
And that has nothing to do with them being perfect.
And bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, even as a grown man, my father's presence in my life is still significant.
Come on.
Bro, because like, you think about it, I'm a grown man with my own family, and he already done this. Done it 2 times over. So it be challenges and stuff in my life now that this might be the first time that I'm stepping into that thing. But you know what? He a phone call away, and I can be like, Pop, man, listen, I need to talk to you about some real stuff. And he gonna help me navigate it. He ain't gonna necessarily tell me to do it the way that he did it, but he gonna give me the truth and gonna tell me what you said. Give me that encouragement, that motivation, like, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be all right.
And D, you and I talk about our fathers a lot via sports.
Right.
But and I heard you say this a couple of times, man. And talking about that male to male relationship.
Yeah.
Our father's presence was different from our mother's presence at the game.
For sure.
And that's what we need. That's what we need society. We need the world to understand is that, man, look, we're not here to diminish mama's presence.
Right.
Or mama's imperfections.
Right.
But we are here to uplift and empower daddy's presence because we're losing at that game right now. Where single motherhood is becoming the norm.
Yeah.
And fathers being present is becoming the norm as well.
Yeah.
Or being absent or not being present is becoming the norm as well. Where we have indirectly just become comfortable with it.
We done accepted it.
We done accepted it, man. I'm gonna tell you, we in the barbershop right now. The one thing that I despise more than anything about the business and the industry that I love is how many single mothers bring their sons to the barbershop.
Haircuts. Right.
Man, that's discouraging to me, bro. Like there's no other sanctuary outside of a football field or a basketball field, or you know what I'm saying. This is our clubhouse, and man, is truly discouraging to see that window of presence be vacant.
Bro, I take it even a step further. I'm gonna tell you what really. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It be pissing me off when you hear a single mother say, "I'ma celebrate Father's Day."
Oh, come on, bro.
I be like, "What?"
Come on, bro.
I done heard that, man. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, bro, I'd be a rich man.
And women do not understand, for a present father, how offensive that is.
Oh man,
that's offensive, man. I promise you, and over the last 7-8 years, man, I really done kind of transitioned into social media. But one of my first years on social media, man, I almost said, you know what, I'm never gonna do social media because that's all I saw for Father's Day. Man, it discouraged me about, I'm talking about, I love promoting my business and family and all that stuff on social media. But I was finna do away with it, man, because I'm like, I don't want to see this, man. It's offensive.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how great you are as a mother.
Right.
And man, there's some awesome mothers out there. Man, my sister is a single mother.
Right.
But you know what my sister does when she needs that father figure for my nieces? Like, look, man, I need you to talk to your nieces.
Yeah.
I need you to tell them.
Yep.
That does not discount the fact that my sister is a great mother. Mm-hmm. She just understands that my kids still need a father figure.
Right, right.
And even if it ain't they daddy, man, I promise you, I was talking to, and shout out to my new little homegirl. Her name is Lil Bit. Met a girl named Lil Bit in Atlanta, man. And she saw the sweatshirt and she wanted to know, like, what you got going on or what's that about? So I started explaining the movement to her.
Right.
And the first thing she said is what we talking about. Like, man, I wish my daddy was around.
I'm telling you, bro.
Man, hurt my heart, bro. Like, I'm talking about this baby looking like, man, I wish. And she just telling me, like, man, I wish I had somebody to talk to. I be going through this and going through that. But I also told her exactly what I just said about my sister is there's still some father figures out there.
Right, right.
That'll fill that void.
Right, right.
Even though the biological fathers may not be present, mm-hmm. I'm still like, look, I'm still gonna be a great uncle,
right? Father
figure,
great brother, great, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, look, man, let me call my niece and see what's going on.
Right, right. I think too, though, Reg. I mean, even just like we advocating for the fathers that are present, I think just like you said, there's some great single mothers out there, and we gotta kind of challenge some of the fathers that need to step up and be accountable too.
That's what the movement is really about, bro. Is curing the absenteeism of fathers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't understand that that's a disease for the country, mm-hmm. but more than anything, man, it's a disease for our community.
Right.
More than any other community, just because, again, I don't see many other nationalities of mothers wishing each other happy Father's Day.
Nah, not really.
And that's no slight to our black women, man. That's no slight to their motherhood. Mm-hmm. But that is a call to action for the fathers.
Yeah.
Like, man, step y'all game up so we don't have to hear this.
Yeah.
If y'all present, I don't have to hear black women wishing each other happy Father's Day.
Right.
Period, point blank.
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
Right. But see, I don't think we understand too, and we done said this on some of the previous podcasts, is like, but we frame our kids' life. You know what I'm saying? We the one that put that frame in place, man, and that woman or that mother, they put that stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? But without that frame, what is it? It ain't nothing there, bro.
And D, man, this platform, the podcast specifically, is the platform that can touch the masses, man.
Oh, for sure.
So in closing, man, I always appreciate my guy, man. Again, we want to encourage all fathers, man. Be present, not perfect, man. That's huge, man. Forget the perfection piece.
Yeah.
Man, be there. Be there for these kids, man. Be there for the kids that also ain't got fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Be that father figure. So nobody is missing those messages. Nobody is missing the seeing you at the ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to more, and my niece is 20.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to twice as many ball games with my niece as I have for my girls right now at 14.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, bro. And that's real, Reg. I mean, like you said, being present, bro. Fathers, you don't understand the impact that you have just for showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like we use the sport analogy all the time, but man, it was always something different when my pops would show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I expect my mama to be there, but when my pops would show up at a game or at something that I got going on, bro, it's just something. It's like a fuse that light in me. Like, man, I gotta push just a little bit harder. And so, fellas, if you don't think it's important or don't think your kids is yearning for that, I'm telling you,
They
yearning for it, man. Step up, man, because I know y'all love y'all babies, man. So be responsible, be accountable, man, and do what you know you got to do.
Do what you got. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to close on this, man. I know more than anybody right now that in times of adversity, you know what I'm saying? Like when anything happens to your kid, because life going to happen to all of us.
Yeah, one way or the other.
You don't want to have to be a guest at a hospital.
Right.
You don't want to have to show up to the house and they won't let you in when your kids is dealing with something.
Right.
That's what being present and not perfect mean, man. Like, look, my baby was fighting for her life, and there's no way on this earth that I could imagine being a guest at the hospital.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not being able to stay every night because people don't want me there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, we gotta be present, man. Like, again, this is our call to action as far as the movement, but it's up to the fathers out there to decide you're gonna be present, man. So, guys, y'all like this, share this, comment. And make sure y'all subscribe, man. Subscribe. Shout out again to my boy D Miller, man. My trusty co-host, man. We just want to send y'all out, man. Let y'all know, be present, not perfect. It's Father Figure Podcast.
We out.